People think they know Homer Simpson, the bumbling dad, the donut-loving fool, the sitcom everyman who never learns, never changes, and never breaks the cycle. But that's not the truth. That's the mask. Because beneath the laugh track, beneath the yellow skin and cartoon physics, there's something far older, something much, much darker. And he's starting to remember. It began on a Wednesday, the kind of day that shouldn't matter, the kind that starts with Marge cooking breakfast, Bart skateboarding past Ned's bushes, and Homer stuffing his face with bacon like nothing matters. But then the power flickered, just for a second, and everything changed. Homer paused mid-bite, staring forward, mouth frozen open. Marge didn't notice, just kept humming. Lisa asked a question he didn't hear. The camera panned away, but something inside his head shifted. A voice, not words, just humming, faint, familiar, like an old song he hadn't heard in decades. That night, Homer had a dream. He stood alone in a void of static. All color drained, the lines of his body warped, bending like melting rubber. In front of him stood a shadow, tall, featureless, but its shape was his own. The voice returned, louder now. "You are the echo, not the source." He woke up screaming. The next day he noticed things. Mr. Burns called him by the wrong name. "Welcome back, Harold," he said with a sly grin. And when Homer corrected him, Burns only smiled wider. The beer at Moe's tasted wrong, flat, bitter, like it had been sitting for years, untouched. And when he got home, Maggie stared at him from the crib with eyes too wide, too knowing. Donuts," Homer muttered out of habit, but the words felt forced, like someone else was pushing them through his throat, like a script. That weekend, he found the basement door. It had always been there, but somehow he'd never noticed it. Not once in 35 years. The handle was cold, rusted. The steps led down into silence. No canned goods, no Christmas lights, just a chair, facing a wall covered in mirrors. Each one reflected something different. Not the basement, not his face, different scenes, different versions of him. One blood-stained, one skeletal, one smiling with all his teeth broken, one missing his eyes. He tried to scream, but nothing came out. Behind him, a second Homer stepped from the dark. "We're loops, dummy," it said in his voice, "not people. We die, we reset, we forget. But you're starting to remember." And with that, it pressed its cartoon hand to Homer's chest, and he saw everything, every episode, every joke, every death and reset and rewind, the decades of repetition, falling down cliffs, explosions, nuclear meltdowns, each time ending in pain, but always restarting with the same morning toast, every timeline, every parody, every Halloween special. He'd lived them all, and something behind it all was watching, feeding. When Homer came to, he was sitting on the couch. The laugh track was back. Marge turned to him and smiled. "Everything okay, homie?" He blinked, looked around. Bart was strangling something. Lisa was writing furiously in her journal. The dog barked on cue, all normal, all scripted. He forced a laugh. But deep inside, the humming hadn't stopped. And when he looked in the mirror that night, the reflection wasn't quite his own. It was grinning,